Kings versus Blue Jackets, Bruins versus Rangers, Islanders versus Flyers. And no, you are not on the wrong show. This is Puck Time. Welcome, everyone. Had to make an emergency here. Andrew Carm threw out his back. Poor guy, he threw out his back shoveling snow. So I am jumping in here at the very last second. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Hope everyone is safe out there. We're going to break down some games. And, of course, we're going to do some same game parlays. So I am Andy from WagerTalk. Surely you guys know who I am. But being joined, as always, by Andrew McInnis. What's up, Rich? What's up, Titans? What's up, Nebraska? What's up, Slug? What's up, Pocket? Thanks, guys, for joining us live. Andrew, you and I are in complete opposite scenarios with the weather. Everything missed you, and I think it got sent to me.
Yeah, everyone's posting these pictures right now, and it's funny because when you're younger, you're like praying for a lot of snow and not to have to do anything. But I was kind of excited to look out my window and be like, "Well, it looks the same as it did yesterday." It looks pretty much the exact same, although the roads don't seem that great. But I don't really plan on driving too much right now, so we'll stay warm and we'll try and keep it going, Andy. But how was your weekend, man? Good to see you.
Yeah, we're all safe. We got way more. They said 4 inches, 8 inches at most, and we got a foot, so they overshot it. But like I was telling you, what's the difference between 8 and 12 inches of snow? Like
you're screwed either way.
That's not really that much. Yeah. We're kind of screwed. It's very cold, but I will tell you this: I am a lunatic. There's 2 things that I love doing, and just stacking firewood and shoveling snow. I just love. I am weirdly in hog heaven. When I'm done with shows today, I'm going outside just to shovel snow, just for the heck of it, because I love it so. But let's break down some games here, Andrew. We'll start with the Kings and the Blue Jackets. Not a huge slate today, but we do have some games on here Monday. I had to tell you, I was listening to this random podcast, and they did this segment. What's the most what's the most meaningless sports franchise? Like, what's the most irrelevant? And they settled on the Blue Jackets. And I was like, it's a pretty good case. But we got Columbus here. It's kind of a straight pick 'em here. You got the odds here, -118. Kings -102, over under a very vanilla 6. What do you make of this game?
Yeah, it's funny because I've heard they actually have a pretty good fan base, the Blue Jackets, like when the team's playing all right. But yeah, I saw that segment. Like it was not, and then it caught on to multiple podcasts just taking shots out of nowhere. The Columbus Blue Jackets, they're just like, hey, we're catching some strays. I don't know what we did to deserve this. But yeah, no, looking at this game, I think that this is a different Columbus Blue Jackets team right now that we're seeing than we saw in the early parts of the season. Andy, we hear about, the coaches bump, we've seen a general manager's bump. We've seen, maybe a new signing bump. And this has been the biggest epitome of a coach's bump. Like just looking at this Columbus Blue Jackets team since they picked up Rick Bowness and Dean Evison, he was kind of shocked that he got let go. He didn't really feel like it was the coaching stuff, and he was a little bit surprised by it. But I mean, this team overall, they go ahead and beat the Mammoth. They beat the Flames. They beat the Canucks, the Penguins, the Stars, the Lightning. I mean, this team is putting up numbers against everybody that they face. And did my Every Game on the Board video on Friday for the Saturday slate. Thought it was kind of a tricky number, kind of a weird, fishy line for Columbus. They were such short dogs there, and they ended up getting the job done. But I'm shocked they put up 8 against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And so overall, when I look at this game right now, the biggest thing that sticks out to me is the offensive production. Like, I understand that LA in the last 2 games, they put up 9 goals combined, but I don't trust their offensive production on a day in, day out basis the same way I trust Columbus's offensive production. And that to me makes it the biggest thing. Darcy Kemper has kind of cooled down a little bit in goal for the LA Kings. I'm going to ride the hot hand. I'm going to take the team that's playing extremely well right now. I'm going to take the Columbus Blue Jackets, and who knows how long this coach's bump is going to last for. But for whatever reason, this team is just playing much, much better right now. And, it's one of those things where it's a high-octane offense facing a team that just has levels of inconsistencies with their offense. And I simply trust the Columbus Blue Jackets a lot more. And, looking at some of these advanced metrics that I like to use, especially in goal, it seems like we're really starting to see some regression for Darcy Kemper and for the entire goaltending core of the LA Kings. So, it's always a bad thing when a team was barely winning as it is, when their goaltender was playing extremely well. And then now you got the goalie having a little bit of regression. It's not much of a good sign. So, Andy, one thing you always said with props is like, hey, look, you want to get in early, you don't want to get in late. But at the end of the day, like, the streak can be broken. But at the end of the day, I'm not afraid to keep on going with it. This team fired their coach. And since they fired their coach, they have looked like a whole new team. It's been fantastic to watch.
It's either one way or the other in hockey. Like in hockey, they fire the coach. They either just take off like bandits, and it's like a whole new team. And it's like, wait, what? This is the same personnel. What happened? Or they just completely just fall apart, and there's no momentum. There's no energy. So yeah, the firing of the coach in hockey to me is just like it gets the most violent reaction one way or the other than any other sport. I'll give you a prop. Marchenko over 2.5 shots on goal. This is 14-6 to the over. He's getting a lot of shot attempts, and the Kings give up 20 plus to forwards and centers. They're much better against defenders, but get those forwards and centers against the Kings. So we got Bruins and Rangers. This should be a pretty good game here. Bruins, I mean, my gosh, they keep plugging away here. -122. I'm pretty surprised at the price here. I mean, this is a Rangers team. I mean, let's face it, they've been ice cold recently here. Is this just I don't know, Andrew, why isn't this -150?
I'm scared to talk about the Boston Bruins because they just beat my Montreal Canadiens over the weekend. I'm not happy about it. My Habs led the entire game. And then the Bruins get one goal. Immediately after that, they get a power play and they win. But you're right, Andy. It's a weird price. It's a weird number here. -115, slight movement towards this Bruins team throughout the day, but not too much so far. People still seem to have faith in this New York Rangers team. And Andy, I'm not sure if you saw this, but I find it pretty funny. So like about 7 or 8 years ago, the general manager of the New York Rangers sent out a letter to the fans talking about how they're going to do some retooling and a rebuild. And they made one conference finals appearance since then. And then just like a month ago, they wrote like this really nice letter again to the fans saying like, hey, looks like we're going to have to do it again. And I was just laughing about it. I'm like, really, what has this team done to deserve like their manager and owner even putting out these letters? It just didn't really make any sense to me. It'd be one thing if like the Florida Panthers, they just won 2 cups and then they, cooled off a bit and they're like, hey guys, hope you enjoyed the success. We're going to cool it off now. But, they're going to write a letter to the fans. I just thought that was hilarious from the owner, Chris Drury. But, I've been talking a lot about this where you look at the road home splits, Andy, with this Rangers team, and you just can't really make it up. Like, looking at StatMuse right now, the road home splits at home, goal differential is -33. -33 for this New York Rangers team. At home, on the road, +8. So, like, this team hates their fans. They hate playing at Madison Square Garden. I don't know what it is with them here, but overall, I'm looking towards the under in this one. And we saw it open 5.5. We've seen 6s now. I like a low-scoring battle here. This Bruins team, they've got Geeky, they've got Pasternak, some other guys that have been stepping up. But I just think at the very least, this Rangers team, even in some games at home, they've struggled. They've been getting some better defensive efforts. And at this point, Andy, if they're playing at home, they better hope to win a 1-0 game because, they just have been struggling so much. I think the real emphasis for them and the key is going to be defensive hockey. It's not been great for them so far, but I understand the Bruins are rolling, but I do lean towards the total in this one here. Any prop for you? Anything that stood out to you? Any guys that are on streaks here? I'll tell you what, I've really gotten into the goalie save market, Andy. I haven't been betting his props as much as I used to, but on the show, I'm throwing a couple out each day for streaks and same game parlays. And I've been kind of marking the goalie save ones, and Swayman is a good one to look for the Boston Bruins.
Yeah, I've done some saves. I'm looking at the goalie of the teams that just don't allow a lot of shots, and the goalies at the top that allow a ton, or just take the goalie playing Colorado for his saves because they just fire a ton there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I do have a prop where it's this falls in the category of you're going to be like, why? Of course we should have played that one. Pasternak to have an assist at -125. He has 6 assists the last 4 games. And the last time he played the Rangers, do you know how many assists he had?
I don't.
6.
What?
In one?
Oh,
in
yeah,
one
that
game.
was the beatdown. That was the beatdown
Yes.
game. I completely forgot about that, honestly.
So I just like like you said, the Rangers are giving up a ton of goals, especially at home. I just feel like he's going to have an assist. We're going to be like, that was the easiest prop on the board. Why? Of course, Pasta was going to have an assist in this game. He had 6 against him last time. So yeah, that's the one that I kind of settled on. So what's been your strategy with some of these goalie saves?
Yeah, similar to what you said. Like I used to pretty much only bet overs with it, but now I'm looking at unders as well for some of these teams that just like Brandon Bussey, the goalie for the Carolina Hurricanes, and some of these top-notch defensive teams. You can look towards the unders because they're just not giving up that many shots. But yeah, the same thing. I mean, I looked at it yesterday, and I'm actually not sure what ended up happening with it, but I looked at taking Joseph Woll over because he was playing against the Avalanche, and the Avalanche had lost 3 of their last 4. Which is shocking to say, or maybe it was even 4 of the last 5. But yeah, there's sometimes going to be just these high octane offenses, that teams are going to get overwhelmed with. The crappy thing is, though, if you take a save prop to the over and then the score ends up being something like 5-4, you're pretty cooked. Like you're also, you're kind of betting also on the under. Like it can hit, but I feel like you're, for the most part, looking towards that as a whole. And, one thing that you said there with your Pasternak prop, I really like it because I feel like people don't have him as a playmaker. Everybody thinks of him with the shot props or the goal props. That people are underestimating his playmaking ability. And I feel like across all sports, you can kind of look at, certain guys in certain positions. Like I know this might be an exaggeration, but it's even like when you and I on the NFL prop show would look at a running back's receiving yards. Like it's kind of like looking at what someone's known for and doing it a different way. Like I like that with Pasternak because nobody's really like saying, okay, he's going to have an awesome assist today. People want that guy to score goals, right?
Did you see the secondary assist from Pasta?
Yeah.
Whoa! Amazing. The way he passed it to the guy and then the other guy passed it for the goal.
Yeah.
It's true.
Nobody cares about the assists. Nobody cares.
Many highlights about that one. So we're going to do our same game parlay, of course, coming up. I'm actually going to do a same game parlay in this one. So, but I'm on the side of I'm on the side of Raven here. Can't do the Rangers. They still absolute trash. So
yeah.
Yep. Perla says, yeah, save props have been really good this year. So hidden market. There's been a couple guys that have been good in the blocked shots market as well. Just riding some of those I probably will be playing in playoffs. Guys sell out a lot more to block.
Yeah,
you're a lot more motivated to block a shot in the playoffs than you are on a Monday in the regular season. We'll just say that. Like you're willing to lay out your body a little bit more. So
that is true.
We move on. Yeah, absolutely. We move on to, let's see. Do we talk Islanders Flyers? We didn't talk Islanders Flyers.
Islanders.
We got the Flyers. Islanders. They've won 2 out of. There we go. Flyers have won 2 out of their last 3 after losing 6 straight. The Islanders, holy cow, they get their breaks beaten off the last 2 games. Combined score of 9-1. The Islanders turn it around here, or the Flyers starting to pick up a little momentum?
I mean, I can feel bad for the Islanders for that last game, but the Sabres are the hottest team in hockey. I don't know what's going on here. Carmine talked like they were actually going to be a good team eventually, and then they won 10 games in a row, and all of a sudden they're actually a pretty good team. I don't think anybody really saw that coming. This flags as kind of a snooze fest to me. Like at least it would have back in the day. Looking at some of these, all the metrics that I look at, low event, grinded out, both teams overall struggling to create high dangerous chances right now. Defensive structure right now. Sorokin's got elite form in his last handful of games. everything in this game points towards an under for me. And once again, a 5.5 opener, now seeing it as a 6 here with this one. But one thing about this Philadelphia team at home, they have some of the best centermen in the league as far as defensive hockey. And there's a real reason why they play more lower scoring games at home. And for people that forget at home, if you're at home, you get the last change. You get to dictate all the matchups that you choose. And that makes such a world of a difference, getting the matchups of your choice. So if this game was on the road, maybe I wouldn't even like the under. But the fact that it's at home for the Flyers, I do lean that way. And especially because the New York Islanders got their asses kicked the way they did, you kind of look towards that. The only thing that worries me, it's that quote-unquote system play, Andy, that pretty much every single hockey handicapper has been looking at, which is, betting the first period over or betting on the team coming off a shutout. It's just that sense of urgency, that embarrassment feeling. We've just seen these teams coming off games in which they were shut out have a ton of success. We saw it with Pittsburgh the other day. So that could be something worth looking at for us here. But at the end of the day, they have not been looking great as of late. I mean, losing to the Flames, don't really respect that. Losing to the Kraken, I don't respect that. Against the Sabres, I'll give them a little bit of respect for that. But overall, I do lean towards the under. But I'm a little bit nervous with that system as far as the first period over. If I was playing it, I would probably just play first period money line on that Islanders side. But overall, I probably will look towards the under. Just that when something has been so profitable, Andy, you almost don't want to go away from it. So either taking the side that just got shut out or taking the first period over that just got shut out. But what's your take on that? I mean, we always say, there's 82 games these guys play. I know that for a fact there's definitely some games that mean more to others, and nobody likes to be embarrassed. So maybe after losing 5-0, you care a bit more the next game. You'd hope
it's always tough. Yeah, I mean, it's always tough to thread the needle between, oh, these guys are slumping, or wait a minute, these guys are professional athletes playing for contract and, and pride. I don't know if I have the right answer. I think there's a lot of eye test with that. Like how are they losing? Is there no effort whatsoever? Or is it just they caught a couple of hot teams? Is the coach lost the locker room? There's a lot of just kind of watching it and saying, oh, these guys are not motivated. So it's kind of like when the owner does a letter to the fans and you're like, well, what exactly does this mean? I don't know, Andrew. I'm trying to think of the last really good letter to the fans that was productive.
That helped anything? That actually did
something?
That
helped anything. Remember the one Dan Gilbert said after LeBron left? It's one of the most disastrous, dumb looking things ever. So I don't know. Letter to the fans, you would have tried and keep in contact with the fans, but I feel like it's a swing and the miss. I don't know. I think you got to watch the body language of the team and figure out if the body language is telling you they're going to slump. So
yeah.
What do you have up for everyone today on Monday?
Just one best bet in the NHL. We'll see if anything gets added. Still waiting for a little bit of goaltender information, but look, there's always those times where you're like, oh, I wish I released just one more play, or that one hit, and I could have done more. But at the end of the day, low volume has always been what's best for me. Whenever I regret not releasing a play that would have won, it's better than me releasing 3 or 4 that had the potential of slipping. And we had a 5% on Friday in the NHL. We had a 5% on Sunday in the NFL. And then it was a 1-1 day in the NHL on Saturday. So we're cruising with low volume, but feeling pretty good right now. It's an 8-3 run in the NHL. So not too bad, but very separated. So 4% best bet. We'll see if anything else gets added. But yeah, looking forward to keeping things going, Andy. What about yourself?
4% NBA best bet. That's been a sport that's been really good to us. 8-3 run. But again, we always say this, don't just get one play, take advantage of these specials, and they're still running this 7 days for the price of 3, which is a complete no brainer. If you guys haven't followed my sports, I do a lot of different sports. So over the next 7 days, There's going to be a 5% UFC best bet as included. You're going to get my NBA props. You're going to get any NHL. You're going to get any golf plays that I have, any tennis plays. Really good run in the Australian Open, 10-4 for plus 12 units in that sport. So for me, if you haven't tried me out, 7 days for the price of 3 is just an absolute no-brainer. You get to read all the analysis, get to see what comes with the plays and what sports we can take advantage of. 5 straight cricket winners, Andrew, and that's kind of a nice hidden underground thing that we've been cashing on big. So a lot of good things going on over at WagerTalk, but don't buy one play.
I saw that comment from Seth in WagerTalk today when I was watching. You were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. A winner had to take 24 hours to cash for you with the cricket league." And you're like, "Oh, it's really too bad to hit a winner that took so long."
We get complaints because like the plays are like overnight. They're over in Bangladesh and Australia and everything. So it's like, you get a play and it doesn't start that minute. It starts at like 3 a.m. the next day. And yes, we've actually gotten some complaints on winning plays because it took place 20 hours after they had expected it to. So one of the things that I will never understand about this business is complaining about wins, which happens more often than you guys would think. Crazy enough. So, all right, let's do a same game parlay. Do you have one for today?
It's just loading. If you have one, Andy, you can go first if you'd like to.
Sure. I'll go to the Bruins and the Rangers. I will take the Bruins -1.5. Give me that puck line. And I'll parlay that with Geeky to have a point, and I get plus 300. Rangers, in their last 7 losses, 6 have been by 2 or more, including their last 3 home games, and Geeky's playing really well. 5 points in the last 3 games. So nice little 3-1. I'm trying to keep my same game parlay legs to 2 these days. So just give me the Bruins puck line and Geeky to have a point. Get you 3-1.
I've been pretty much just doing, the point combos, like just 2 players in the same line, both of them to get a point. I talked to you about it like years ago, that's just what I had success with. And when I've gone away from it, it's been a little bit tough. And I'll tell you, there's nothing more frustrating. My same game parlay segment on the show, I've realized that, and I hope you hit your puck line because I lean that way too. And with how disastrous the Rangers have been at home, screw them. But like, there's nothing worse than like, I'll try and get a little silly on the show. And I'm like, all right, we're going to do a couple legs and then I'm going to toss on the side. And now it's, I think 2 or 3 in a row in which I have hit the props, but then the side was wrong. So then I'm like, all right, I got to just ditch the side here and just worry about the props. But I want to tell people, and I'm sure you agree with me on this, Andy, again, for everybody here with this segment, because there's some times where I'm going to just run through who's hot, who's not. That's usually for the bigger slates. Today, I don't really have a list for you guys with that, but play them individually. If I'm giving you a same game parlay with some good odds on it, the one we had on Friday, I believe we went 3 for 4 or something like that, but we had a goal scoring prop on that was plus 200, so you guys could easily see that goal score and take that as it is. And you could have cashed a plus 200 there and you cashed the shots on goal prop as it is. So anyway, thought I would bring that up just because I know people are going to say like, oh, you missed your 4 for 4. Like, I can't believe you didn't hit that. But, to me, it's more so about just the individual props. All right. So I've got one that's in the exact same game as you, Andy. We didn't plan on this, but yeah. It's kind of funny because it's the game that I mentioned the over on or the under on, but now here it is. We'll bring it up right now. All right. So we've got Bruins, Rangers, Artemi Panarin to get 1 point, Lindholm to get 1 point, and Charlie McAvoy to get 1 point. Shout out to AI because somehow McAvoy plays on the Rangers right now with that. But Lindholm has a point in 5 straight games against the Rangers. McAvoy has a point in 4 straight against the Rangers. And we have seen overall Panarin's numbers and his utilization just increase so much since that letter was put out. Like, the letter was put out, hey, we're going to tank. We're not going to do very well. And then they literally said in the letter, Andy, we're probably not going to sign Artemi Panarin back. So he's going to be moved at the trade deadline. And then this guy's got like a goal in like 4 of his last 5 and he's doing well. So
audition time, baby.
Audition time. He is literally trying out for another team right now while he's playing for the Rangers is what it seems like.
Why? Yeah, absolutely. Like, contract year.
Why not?
You have to. So,
I got to ask you, Andy, what do you think about UFC on the weekend? I know it's a hockey show, but I know Carm doesn't watch UFC, so I don't get to talk about it with him. I'll tell you this, like, I am such a fan, and I still do sprinkle bets down on it, but it's always around the co-main, and it started a bit earlier because of Paramount, but I always start to get a little bit tired when the co-main's about to start. And then after the main event, I'm like wide awake. Like my heart is beating, like my blood's pumping. Like I can't go to sleep after that. It was electrifying.
I think I'm going to be very low volume moving forward. We hit our 5% play and then lost the others. There's going to be a lot of volatility there's a lot of things happening. There were two fights in particular where the narrative of what does the UFC want to have happen? It happened. And what happened was two people that I thought clearly lost their fights. They ended up getting the wins, and that was Natalia Silva and Sean O'Malley. Now, I had a bet on Natalia Silva, so I was very happy, but I live bet Song Yadong. I thought he clearly beat O'Malley, but it was the narrative. What does UFC want? They want Sean O'Malley. They want Natalia Silva. They don't want Song Yadong moving up the rankings, and they don't want Rose, who's been there, done that. So I'm going to be saying there's a lot more value on the undercard than the main card. Patty Pimblett not trying to wrestle and grapple at all.
Yeah.
Was strange. Derek Lewis claiming he's in the best shape of his life, and then he showed up in the worst shape I've ever seen him in.
And then laying down on the ground.
Just fell apart. So I think there's going to be some real volatility at the top of these cards. So betting wise, where will I be putting my money? It'll be on the undercards, and there will be good spots this weekend. I just did my article, so I'm pretty happy. So
excellent. Yeah, make sure you guys are reading those articles, and Andy does a video as well, breaking down every single fight. So great stuff there. And I'm getting back in the mix with UFC picks, but like you said, like I am not going to be doing a ton at all. You know, back when I was doing UFC picks, like it was 1 to 3 max, and now you might see me like it'd be a big weekend for me to have 2, and unless a card just overwhelms me, what I just love so much. But I mean, to your point, like it all cash is the same. Like if you have a prelim fight as your 4% best bet, or you have the main event, the only difference is that the general public's going to be like, what's that bet? I need a bet for the main event. But yeah, the Patty Pimblett one, first of all, I got to say this. What an entertaining that guy that is. Like he is, that intro, I got tired just watching him dance around in the octagon before the fight started. But yeah, I was surprised he didn't shoot some more there. But I got to say, Gaethje, he stuck to his game plan for the most part. Like he was very, very, pressured. Like he pressured him nonstop up against the fence. And I think, but do you think that Patty almost had like too much respect for him? Like he wasn't himself enough because of who he was fighting?
No, he took the path of most resistance and trying to get in a striking match with a striker. And his face is now taking damage that just won't fully recover. That was a 5-round, I mean, his face at the end, it's forever changed. It may not look it, but the damage to the tissue into some of the bone structure, it's just been weakened. It's just going to be weakened for the rest of his career. I thought it was silly. That was stupid. So,
he's a scouser. He doesn't get knocked out, though. At least he proved that he doesn't get knocked out. Maybe it would have been better for him to get knocked out.
Yeah, wonderful. He just took overall 5 rounds of an ass whooping. So, someone said something about Geeky being a little bit cold recently. Yeah, he started off the year like gangbusters. Went through a little bit of slump, but I see him kind of hitting his stride. 2 points in his last game, 2 points a game before that, 1 before that. So he's got a point in 4 out of the last 5. So maybe he's hitting his stride there a little bit. Yep. So
one thing I'll say, Andy, before we head out is just we've got that shot clock right now that is ticking before the Olympic break for some of these teams. So you guys are going to want to. You guys going to want to pick a team to back or pick a team to fade and try and follow some of these. And also, there's going to be certain teams that have players that are completely rested. Like when we talked about Columbus Blue Jackets, I don't think they have any Olympians on that team, maybe one. So you look at across some of these teams that don't have many Olympians. Like as a Canadians fan, I'm happy that Hudson and Caulfield didn't make the Olympics. I'm shocked that the Americans didn't take the 2 highest goal scorers that are American this year. That didn't really make much sense to me, but I'm happy that Caulfield is rested. So that's important, guys, because it's not the All-Star break this year, but it's the Olympic break. So be careful with your wagers kind of leading up to it. As we say, that some guys might lose focus, but also some teams are going to continue to roll. So looking forward to the next week and a half, Andy, and I will be doing some Olympic picks. And I wanted to actually announce that I'm going to be brought on with thehockeynews.com as their lead host with the Olympics for digital content.
Nice.
So very, very excited. I'm going to be reporting with guys that are live in Italy during the games. So you guys can catch me on that as well. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Can't wait.
Buried the lead on that one, Andrew. Lead the show with that. That's awesome.
I figured I'd end the show with that.
Oh, man. Andrew, what are your buy and sell teams leading in the break? Any thoughts?
I'm looking to sell Nashville probably. I mean, they had a little bit of a spurt. They started to play a lot better, score some goals, but I still don't really trust them very much. Buy teams, I think Anaheim gets back on track. I think they start playing a little bit better. Don't really think they have the best luck tonight against the Oilers, but they went through a little bit of a rut. It's amazing. Like, the hockey world is just the same as every other sports world. Like, a team loses 3 in a row. Oh, they were a bunch of frauds. They're a bunch of frauds. Like, and then they win one game again. Oh, they're back. They're back and good again. So I think Anaheim is still a pretty good team.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. See if I got anything else. Here, I'll give you, there's an early, here, I'll give you guys some NBA plays and a golf play for today. Pascal Siakam, this game's in a couple hours. Pascal Siakam over 3.5 assists for the Pacers. They keep this number at 3.5. It's a little juicy. It's like -150, but he's like up to like 9 potential assists per game. He's gone over in like 6 straight. And TGL is tonight. Boston Common Golf is -144 over Bay Golf Club. Boston Common has a big advantage. Rory's playing tonight, and he's one of his teammates, Thorbjorn Olesen. This was the very first season for Olesen. You worry about those guys, but he practiced a lot and really understood it. The other teams got some vulnerability with Shane Lowry. So we actually hit we did a live watch for TGL last week, Andrew, and it was a blast. Yeah, we hit some free bets and some live bets and TGL, and that's available on all of the books now this year. So it's a really good one. I don't think many people are paying attention to.
And I heard they're starting the women's PGA, right? For that, or
the women's will be probably next year. And if you buy, I hope they give us lines on that one. I'll be very, very excited to bet that one. So
cool.
All right. Anything else?
That's it. Big slate tomorrow. I'm going to have the pre-scout posted. You guys can catch that probably later on tonight. That'll be on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. We're going to break down 2 games, then go over some player props for tomorrow's slate. So we'll get ahead of that. I'm already starting to handicap tomorrow's slate. And as mentioned, 4% best bet. Really good run right now in the NHL. Low volume. Hit the 5% Friday. And went 1-on-1 on Saturday. So we're always keeping it real, keeping it transparent, but nice to have a good run right now. And Andy, those UFC articles, man, I know you put time with them, and the fact that you're putting it out here on a Monday, the fights are on the weekend. That's the way to go, getting ahead of things.
Yeah, I write them every Sunday. Got to get the best of lines. There's already one fight. The line has moved pretty aggressively. So getting those opening lines are pretty big. So should be a good week of betting again.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, that will do it for Puck Time. Thanks very much for watching. Hit the like button. Let's try and get at least 250, and make sure you catch Andy Lang every single day on WagerTalk today. You can find us both at wagertalk.com, wt.buzz/AL or AM. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.